No.
Didn't hear anything.
I messed up on that. So,
Hey everyone, welcome to Success is the New Black. Today we're going to be talking about why nice bosses finish first. If you really want to make it big, you got to hustle and how to do it. And we're going to be wrapping up our Olympians.
Work, 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 work. You see me happy work, 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 work. You see me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me better
I love
work,
this
work,
song.
work,
I love
work,
it.
work, work. When you
Hello everyone and welcome to our new show, Success is the New Black. I am your host, Ashita Henre, and I am here with...
Tara Johnson. It's like the dynamic duo's back again.
Yes, I am so happy to be back.
Me too.
If you remember, we had a show called Phenomenal Woman that we absolutely love doing.
Right.
Every single week, we loved it, but we decided that we wanted to also interview men.
We love men.
Yes,
You know, they can be beneficial too.
absolutely. So we went ahead and talked to the producers, and we came up with Success is a New Black so that we can interview not only women, but we can also interview men. And I am so excited to be here. This is our first episode, and we cannot wait to get started.
Yeah, I mean, this is a place where we want you to come for all those aspiring entrepreneurs or even existing entrepreneurs, where you can come and get your tips, your business news, and find out how to take your hustle to the next level.
Absolutely. And speaking of hustle, I want to talk to you about, if you really want to hustle, how you should do it and why you should do it.
There you go.
So the word hustle, we all know that word. We all hear it. We see it on social media. We see it on Twitter. But what exactly does that mean? It means that you have to get up every day and you have to grind. But we know that. And so I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into the word hustle to help our entrepreneurs and how to get them to understand what truly that word means. And so for me, when I started doing some research about the word hustle, I dug a little bit deeper. And what I found out is hustle is not just getting your business cards. It's not just getting your website up and going. It's not just going out and just networking, meeting people. When you really hustle is when you have to dig down so deep on the days that you do not feel like doing it. That's when that word hustle comes in, because there are some days where you're tired, you're exhausted, you're out of all of your options, you don't have any more money, you're just struggling. You're struggling emotionally, you're struggling physically, depending on the type of job that you have. So I really wanted to dig deep, and that's what that word hustle means. It means getting out there and figuring out a way, no matter how you feel, to make it. No matter how you're feeling about your life, no matter how you're feeling about family, no matter how you're feeling about your finances. That's what that word hustle means, is getting up every single day when you don't feel like it, when you feel like quitting, and going after your dreams. We all know, we all read about it. Every CEO will tell you, oh, I had to grind, oh, I had to hustle. But how do you measure that? How do you measure that word hustle? So that's what I had to figure out, from not just for myself, but everyone around me. Figuring out that word hustle is when you do not feel like doing it, when you're tired and you're exhausted, you get up and you figure out a way no matter what. As we can see during this time, we can see the Olympians out here for the last 2 weeks. They have to figure it out. No matter if their body is tired, no matter if they pulled a muscle, they have to figure it out. And they end up doing it. And that's why they're called Olympians. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. And we've heard stories the past 2 weeks and even like the past year getting ready for the Rio Olympics, where we had these Olympians who've given up their lives 100% completely in order to go after their dream for being a gold medal winner, or, you know, winning the silver or bronze, but standing on that podium for their country. And you have to give it all, like Ashita was saying, even when you can't give everything. And speaking of the Olympics, I think right now, maybe in the next couple minutes, we'll be able to watch the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. It's been 2 weeks
Yeah.
of some of the best well, I don't want to say all sportsmanlike conduct, because we did have a story, you know, I'm not going to use the person's name. We'll just use the initials RL and we'll just move on. Some controversy did come out, but as we all know, the Olympics were huge. And the one thing we can say is We enjoyed the Olympics. We enjoyed everything that happened. Medals were going everywhere, but let's not get it twisted. It is big business. NBC made $1.2 billion in advertising on the 2016 Rio Olympics. This puts them about 20% ahead of sales for the 2012 London Games. And the crazy thing of it is that news coverage about Rio, the Zika outbreak, the infrastructure problems, the problems with the economy, those were actually things that made the commercial space even more demand. So NBC made out like bandits, and the United States made out like bandits, because the final medal count, the United States won 121 medals, 46 gold, 37 silver, and 38 bronze. And that is 54 more medals than the second most winning country, which was Great Britain. So USA, we put it down all day long.
Our sisters did.
Yeah, and it was crazy. I mean, we saw some first in this Olympics, but let's talk about that. So Simone Biles.
Yes.
All 4'9" of this little powerhouse, but she won the 2016 Olympic individual, all around vault, floor, gold medal. We knew she was going to do it. We went into it anticipating she was going to do it, and she came through. But there was, this was the Olympics of the Simones, right? So we had Simone Manuel, 4 medals. And I love saying this, the first African-American female to win an Olympic gold medal in an individual swimming event. Black people can swim. That's all I can say.
Yes. And let me just say this, and still look cute when their hair is wet. Because did she not look adorable?
She looked
with her
adorable.
hair wet? Yes, she did. So that should not cause you. I mean, you can always have braids, but I know with swimmers, everything cannot be braided because it adds weight.
Right.
And I do understand that. And I understand that we can't always have perms either.
Right.
But there's always a way, and she looked gorgeous in all her natural beauty. Oh,
100%.
And stood on the podium accepting her gold medal in her all natural hair. Didn't do anything to it. So I just want to say, don't allow that to be a fear factor of swimming.
Not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love it. And there were tons of other women and men who came out ahead in the Olympics. But I just have to mention Michelle Carter, who won the shot put, African-American female. Now, the thing I love about her is we think about, the gymnastics, we think about the track and field. I don't even think they televise the shot put because of the fact it's one of the sports at which we don't watch that much. It's not as popular. I think they televised it in Europe, but they didn't televise it in here in the United States. And we have a California resident, Michelle Carter, who brought home the gold medal. And I will say, for all of the women out there who feel as if they can't be in the Olympics if they're not a size 0, she held it down all day long. Proud of her all day. And of course, it was the Olympics of Michael Phelps. Swim. Now he's the dad, the whole thing. That's fantastic. But so all of these medal winners, they come home with all these fantastic memories. But there's also one other thing that they share in common. They share a tax bill, which I didn't realize this at all, but they all share a tax bill. When you win a gold medal, you receive $25,000. When you receive a silver, you win $15,000, and when you get a bronze medal, you get $10,000. Now, every 4 years this happens for the Olympians, and every 4 years, Congress comes out with a bill to try to get that waived for Olympians. This year, 2 senators came out with the United States Appreciation for Olympians and Paralympians Act. It was passed in Senate. The House hasn't ruled on it, and they don't think that Olympians should have to pay taxes on their winnings. Now, I have a question for you. I have a question for you, Ashita. We're all hardworking people out here. I appreciate the Olympics. I appreciate all they've done and the sacrifice they've made. But should they pay taxes on that medal winning? I'm going to leave it up. Let me ask you, what do you think?
I say no.
Okay. And why do you say no?
I say no because, again, I'm going to go back to my hustle. To be an athlete is one thing, right? They train, they do sacrifices. But to be an elite athlete, to reach the podium of the Olympics, and then on top of that, to medal, we have no idea the sacrifice that these people make, not just on their bodies, but their families. And I think that's taxed enough, in my opinion. I think they've already sacrificed enough. I think that they deserve all of it, in my opinion.
Right.
That's why I say no, they shouldn't be.
I have to say, for me, I think they should pay taxes on it. Or if they shouldn't pay taxes, and maybe this is the lawyer in me speaking, if they shouldn't pay taxes, then we have to expand it to all athletes. What about the guys who sacrifice and win possibly the World Cup or the NBA finals, or even people who win like the Nobel Peace Prize and the Pulitzer Prize? So I think if we're going to exclude them from paying taxes, because tax is business, right? Tax is business for the government. So if they're going to exclude and waive their tax payment, I would be on board if we waive it for other people too. I just don't know why just the Olympics.
Well, I can actually agree with that. I can agree with that because I think that's just a way of saying thank you.
Right.
That's just my
I mean,
just
so.
I mean, do you guys agree? We would love to hear from you. Is that a way that's a way for them to say thank you for winning? We appreciate you because they already get taxed in their sponsorship dollars. So why are they going to get taxed again?
Okay,
right?
I get it. Yeah, I would love to hear what everyone else out there thinks too. Should Olympians pay taxes on those winnings or not? Let us know.
Absolutely. And you can follow us on Twitter.
On
you can
Twitter.
Tweet you can tweet. You can tweet me at Sheet on Ray. And where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter, TJ wagging her tail, nonstop. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And speaking of taxes, because, you know, the government is the boss, right? Because that's what they do. They want to just boss us all the time with our money and everything, which I think is unfair. I want to talk about, since we're on this entrepreneurial and hustle and the spirit of not giving up, I want to talk about why nice bosses finish first. And this is so important because when we start off as an entrepreneurial of one. You start off by yourself, and your actual goal eventually is to hire, is to bring people on to help. And when you bring people on to help, you have to bring them on to inspire, encourage, and uplift. But how do you do that? We become mean, we become, angst, we become frustrated, and in the end, we think that, we're doing them a service to help them, but in actuality, you're doing a disservice to yourself. And so I found a couple of studies that suggests why you are doing a disservice to yourself. So the first study is the University of London has found that there's a strong link between heart disease and boss-inflicted stress. The last thing you want to do is add more stress to your employees. Then I found another study that from the University of Concordia that says employees who are highly stressed add 46% to their employer's health care cost. So that's another reason why, because what we want to do, the good entrepreneurs want to do, you want to hire, you want to provide them with health care insurance, you want to provide them with 401ks, because that's how you keep your employees. That's how you keep your good employees. But when you become a mean boss, when you become a frustrated boss, an angry boss, and you don't know how to be a nice boss, then you're adding more money issues to your health care, because now they're constantly going to the doctor. Now they're constantly calling out sick. Now they're taking leave of absence. So you have to kind of look at it and say, okay, well, you know what? It does pay to be better, to be a nice boss. Then I found another one. The Institute of Naval Medicine found that overly tough bosses cause people to seek jobs elsewhere, and they decline promotions, which was really, really huge for me, because I'm sitting there going, declining a promotion. That speaks volumes, because a promotion is you get a raise, you get a title, you get that corner office. But if you're a mean boss, they don't want that. And if you are a mean boss and that person doesn't want that, now you're out of an employee, and you're not out of a good employee who can actually do your job, your business some good. So that's another thing that I found out. And also Randstad Consulting, which I'm actually very familiar with. Mm-hmm. Most employees trade in their bosses for better ones and receive a $5,000 pay raise. So when they leave their bad boss and they're looking for another job, they actually benefit not only getting a better boss, but they get a raise. in addition to.
That's a win-win.
That's a win-win. So I share this to say it's always important to be a nice boss. It's always important to encourage your employees, to train them well, to listen to what they're saying, and to be inspiring, encouraging, and uplifting. Because what you want to do is to help your employees grow, because once your employees grow, your business grows. If your business grows, you grow.
Right.
Yes, that's very important.
I think the thing to remember is that as an entrepreneur, you're right. Most companies start as a company of one.
Yes.
When you bring in other people, it's like you're sharing your children. You know, like you're putting your children, your babies, or whatever in the hands of other people. So it really goes back to having the criteria to bring on people that you trust, who you really think you can do your job, you know, do the job you need them to do. So because I think a lot of it has to do with not feeling comfortable with the people that you have in place. So if you don't feel comfortable with the employee, then you want to micromanage and not give people the freedom to move and grow and create the way that you want them to. And those things you can't hide in a position. Like those things you can't hide in a company. People feel that type of energy, and energy just is counterproductive.
Absolutely. People don't leave jobs, they leave their bosses.
They leave their bosses.
Yes. So speaking of leaving your bosses, let's just say you want to leave your boss and you have this vision that I'm going to one day leave this mean boss, but how am I going to do it?
Yeah.
Right? How am I going to leave my mean boss? How am I going to put this vision together and say, okay, what are my steps? What are my goals? What are my dreams that I want to do to leave this mean boss? And I think Tara has a great suggestion.
I do. Right here at Success is the New Black, we always want to give you something tangible to walk away with. As soon as you finish watching us, which we hope that you do, and after you call everybody and tell everybody else to watch us too, don't forget that. We want you to walk away with something that you can do and you can implement in your life immediately. So just as Ashita was saying, it's about vision. So a lot of people, the first thing they do when they want to start a business, they figure out what the business is, what kind of business. But so many times I've heard many people talk about their business saying, I had a dream, I had a vision, I have a feeling of what I want my life to be. Well, tip number one is put that feeling, put those things that you want and make it visual in a what? Vision board.
Yes.
And the beauty of a vision board is something that you can look at every single day, multiple times a day if you need to. But what happens is whatever we put our focus on grows. So if we're putting our focus on and taking a look at this vision board every day, then we're going to spend our time and our energy on it, and it's going to focus. So what do you need to create this beautiful vision board? Very simple. As a matter of fact, it can be fun too. So find an area, find some time, set the mood, honey. I mean, get some music if you want to, glass of wine, beer, whatever you do. Just give yourself some personal time. And you need a couple of things. Some tape. Ask your kids if you can borrow their stuff, you know, and ask them first. Don't just take their stuff. Magazines. I would say any type of magazine you can think of.
Tara not playing.
Clearly,
y'all.
I love magazines. I mean, I have Essence here. I have Red Book. I have People. I have Fast Company. Dr. Oz, The Good Life, as a matter of fact. Inc. Oprah Winfrey. I have Us Weekly. Anything that's going to give you visuals. And what you need also is a piece of cardboard. It can be small, big, whatever you like, and a pair of scissors. And what you do is you think about not only for this vision board what you want, but how you want it to make you feel. And you can use a vision board for several things. You can have one for your entire life. You can have one for just your job. You can have one for your relationship, whatever you want it to be. Spend time, go through these magazines, and pick out images that display what you want and how you want it to feel, and put it on your vision board. A lot of people suggest that the middle of the vision board should be a picture of you, so that way it's you and everything else around it. But that's completely up to you to decide if that's what you like to do. So I have this blank piece of cardboard right here because we're starting this new show, Success is the New Black. So I'm going to do a vision board for what I want this journey with Ashita to be. So I'm going to put my vision board together. I'm going to come back and share it with you next week. So what I would hope that you would do is ask your kids for some crafts and arts and all that kind of good stuff, and spend some time over the next week and create your vision board. Share with us via, Twitter, and let us see your vision board. But let's start creating some visions together.
Absolutely. And this goes back to that word hustle.
Absolutely.
Because if you see it, then you got it. You have a vision, but from vision, you got to get that to reality.
You have to.
Because everything that we're going to do about this show is be tangible. I want every single person watching this show that listens to Tara and I and goes, I can do this. And I'm going to show them that I can do this, because we want to hear from you. We want to speak to you. We want to know that you're doing it. We want to be just excited as you are. Because again, even though we're here to inspire you, believe it or not, Tara and I look at you, we'll read your comments. You guys inspire us.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Yeah, it's a community, and we want to buid a community to help each other. So that's why I'm like, share your vision board with me.
Absolutely.
Share something that you've learned. Share a tip. If you have a tip, if you have a suggestion, if you have a topic that you'd like us to cover, let us know, because we're definitely open. Because we're working together. We're all working this game out together.
And actually share, because sometimes people think vision board is just for jobs, and it's not. It's wherever you are in your life. And Tara shared with me the other night about her friend having a vision board.
Oh, absolutely.
And what did she get out of it? It was a relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah. She was with her partner. They had a child, and she wanted to get married. So she put a vision board together strictly toward what she wanted her wedding, and not just her wedding, her marriage to be, where she wanted it to be, and how it would make her feel. And I kid you not, less than a year later, she sent me an invitation saying, we are getting married, we are having it here, and they've been married now over a year. So when I tell you vision boards work, they work.
Like Rihanna.
Like Rihanna.
Work.
Working it.
Right? Well, I think we should wrap up our show. I think we did an amazing job.
I hope you think so.
I believe we did. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it, because we're going to talk about every single topic relating to entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about every single topic related to how you feel about entrepreneurship, and we want to help you grow. When we grow, you grow.
That's right.
When you grow, we grow. And so I feel that we are on the right path.
I hope so. And I hope you join us on this path.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, I'm Ashita Onray. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Ashita Onray.
You can find me, I'm Tara Johnson, at TJ Wagging Her Tail on Twitter. Yes.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to inspiring you next week.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.